Welcome to the ABCs of Preschool, friends. My name is Miss Amber. Thanks for listening. I hope that summer is almost here. It's hard to believe I live in Northern California, so it's really hard to believe that it's not summer already because it's so warm, it's so hot. One of my favorite things to do now that I have a pool again is to work, get up really early in the morning. I go for my walk, I have my coffee, I water all my plants. And then I get into my office around 9 and I work. And then by 2, I like to stop and lay out by my pool and get my vitamin D and just swim. It's just been a really great routine. And it's a way to force myself to take a break. So I love it. So I love summer. And welcome to the show. So, this episode is dedicated to all you preschool owners, childcare center owners, family daycare owners. If you own a school or if you are a director of a family daycare, a childcare center, a preschool, if you are in charge of the tours and signing families up, this episode is for you. If you know someone who has a home daycare or has a preschool childcare center, please share this episode because this one is going to be 3 tips for a successful tour and to close the deal, to sign up that family. I know it sounds weird to say like close the deal, but really, when we are running tours, we are selling in a way your school, your site, your preschool, and we want the family that you're touring to sign up and to be on board and to believe in your philosophy and want to be a part of your school. So it is selling in a way. And I've never really thought of myself as a salesperson ever in my 24 years of running tours. I will even say that sometimes in tours, like, I don't wanna come across like a used car salesman, but let's face it, let's be frank in this episode, and the reality is you are selling your program, you are selling yourself, your reputation, your image, all of it when you run a tour. So today we're going to cover 3 tips. They're really easy. They're not that big. They're not that hard to implement, but just 3 tips that if you're consistent, then I think you're going to be really successful closing every tour that you run. Let me jump back to 24 years ago when I was opening my school. I had no idea how to sell. Um, I really had no idea what I was doing. I had only been a teacher, so when I opened up my own, I had to learn everything from scratch. And the best advice I'm going to give you today on running tours, and it's the number one tip that I want to share with you, is every time a family walks into your office or walks into your home because you're home daycare, you need to connect and like truly care about them. I know they're strangers. They're just walking into your home. They're walking into your office, your preschool, your childcare center. You know nothing about them most of the time. They know nothing about you. But my number one tip would be you want to connect with them right away on a personal level. You never want to come across salesy ever. You want to create a relationship, a trust quickly. You want to bend down. So if they have their child with them, my first tip is to connect, not just connect with the parents, but you want to connect with their child. If they have a little one with them, you want to bend down. You want to say hello to them. You may, if they're really shy, you just wave, but you want to acknowledge their child because their child is going to be, hopefully the goal is that they're going to be your student. So a tour is not just for the parents, it is for the child that's there too. You want to connect, you want to greet them, you want to get on their level, and you want to smile a lot. Like, You really need to show that you value them and you want to spend time with them, showing your school off, showing your home daycare off. If you come across like you're rushed, like you're looking at your watch, you don't have time for this, they're going to see right through you. So connect. Connect is my first tip. Like connect right away. I like to listen. I like to ask open-ended questions. Has your which childcare center has your child been in before, or what are you looking for? A good question is, what are you looking for in a home daycare or home in a preschool? Get them talking. Let them share their heart. Let them share what they're looking for. You can ask them, what are some three fun things that your child loves to do? And those three fun things are going to tell you kind of the personality of their child. And you listen, like really, really listen. And I would usually find things that I had in common with them that I could connect with. And then I would steer that conversation that way. So, like, I don't know, they say that they love to go hiking. And as a family, they like to go hiking on the weekends. Maybe that's something that's talked about. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I'd love to hike too. Have you tried out this trail or this trail? If you find out one of your tours knows one of your clients, you could talk about that client. Oh, we love that student here. They're such a great family. So, really listen and connect on a relationship level. Like, do not be salesy. I think it's the undertone is the sales part of it, but the upfront is really genuinely and showing that you genuinely care and you want to get to know them on a personal level and you want to be able to answer their questions and you want to be able to get to know their child. We have to remember it's a new place. It can be scary for little ones. They can be really shy. So, really connecting and listening to something that you might have in common is a really great way to keep the conversation flowing. I know sometimes small talk is not easy with strangers, and some people are just like, yes, no. But if you're listening and if you're generally really wanting to connect, you're going to hear things that you guys have in common and then just start talking about the things that you have in common with life or the area you live in or whatever it is. They're going to share little truth bombs here and there and little topics that you can then pick up and start talking about on a personal level. So, tip number one is really connecting and smiling, being warm and welcoming. You want your center to be welcoming, and that is your job as directors, as owners. It's if obviously if you are running in your home as a home daycare, they're coming into your home. And if you're not running out of a home daycare, they're coming into your preschool, which is an extension of your home. I believe high quality childcare centers feel like an extension of home. And so, just as you would have guests come in, you would want to make them feel welcomes immediately. Right away, you want to make them feel welcomed. Second tip is goodie bags or goodie bags and slash if you have an office and you want to sit down and talk to the parents, you have activities for the little ones to do while you are engaged with their parents. But little gift bags are just cute and fun. We just fill ours with really, really simple things. Pirates booty, bubbles, maybe some stickers, a little bottled water. It's just a nice way to say thank you for visiting. Thank you for coming into our home, our childcare center, and thank you for visiting. We're so glad you're here. Who doesn't like a gift, right? Like everybody loves little gifts, but it's just that little touch um, of a thank you gift. Like, thank you for actually considering us for your preschool needs for your little ones. I think a lot of times, childcare owners or preschools can just have this, like, I don't know, just this super businessy feel. I really think if you want to be successful for the long run, you got to really bring in relationships and personal relationships. And then in tip number two, with the gift bags, the little thank you bags for the client, for the potential client, potential students, is being organized with your parent pack. I like to put our parent packs in a red folder. I'm wearing red. Red is our school colors. I love red. So we have red folders. We have cute little stickers with Loving Start Learning Center on it. And inside, everything is printed up really nice and in color. The parent packs are put together nicely. They're not just, here's a piece of paper with your tuition on it. It's all about how you present yourself. Like, do you want to present yourself with a high quality care and with a real passion and dedication and love with what you're doing? Then everything, it's all about first impressions. As soon as they walk through your doors, their their first impressions, their judgments are all shooting off. And it's about how you carry yourself. You know, another tip, bonus tip number 2 in there with your thank you bags, your goodie bags, and a really well organized, nice tour packet is, how does your office smell? How does your home smell? Because as soon as people walk in to your environment, to your home daycare, to your office, your preschool, it should like hit them with like hominess. It should smell really good. That's my opinion. We always have like little warming scents on, essential oils. And so many times people walk through our office and are like, oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. We forget there's so much power in smell. Our senses just going off. If they walk into smelling stinky diapers and a really stinky bathroom, it's just like, ah, so we have to present ourselves. We want to be smiling. We want to be warm. We want to be welcoming and engaging. We want to be talking with their child as well. We want to open up. We want to ask open ended questions so we can get not a lot of yes or no, but like we want to get them engaged and we want to get them talking. When you listen, you'll hear little nuggets. Then you can chime in on a personal level. And that's tip 1. Tip 2, tip 1 is connecting, genuinely connecting and caring and really wanting to get to know them. And then 2 is getting gift bags, little thank you bags. Thank you so much for coming. Here's a little something for your little one. Have a well organized tour packet. That's really a big deal. And in that tour packet, we usually have an intake form and we usually ask them to fill out the intake form. And it's very basic, their name, their email, their phone number, how old their child is, what their child's name is, what they're looking for in the school, and what hours and times are they looking for. And I always say, I'm not here to spam you. I'm not going to spam you. It's when you decide, if you decide that we are the school and the right fit for you, then we take your intake form out. We have all your information already and that we can finish getting you registered fully. And then we pass this along to our teachers so they are well prepared and they're ready to welcome your little one. So that's what the intake form is all about. And in the part 2 tip is, how does it smell in your office, in your home? Like, you really want it to make sure it smells warm and welcoming. And the third tip is follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. I've been good many years on this and then not so good, but really tip number 3 is follow up. With the intake form, you should have their information, but also you have their information because they've called, they've scheduled a tour. So you have their information, you have their email. And when I say follow up, it doesn't mean you have to spam them, but just write them the next day. Thank you so much for visiting. Thank you so much for even considering us for your child. It was so nice to meet you. And whatever you decide, best wishes. We just wish you luck. Just a really sweet email, but a follow up. And if they have any questions, this gives them a chance to ask any questions, because a lot of times parents come in for tours and it's good to connect, right, on a personal level. So sometimes they may not ask all the questions that they were thinking because you guys were having a really amazing conversation and they were connecting with you. They were building trust with you. So then the next day they may have some questions. So it's a really great way to, step number 3 is to follow up, see if they have any questions, see if they wanted to chat more with you, and just thank them so much for the opportunity just to even be considered in the most magical years of their little one. So those are 3 simple tips to help you close those tours, get those families in there and not be so salesy. You're not going to come across like a salesperson because you're genuinely care. And that's something you have to like really look within. Like, do you generally care and want to get to know your families? And I think most of us say yes, we absolutely genuinely want to get to know anybody that's walking through our doors, especially potential clients, because you want to make sure you guys are a right fit. Because sometimes people come through your doors and you know immediately you're not the right fit. But here are my free 3 tips again is connect, generally connect with your potential clients that are coming in, with the child, with the parents, and listen, really listen to what they have to say, asking open-ended questions. And when you hear little nuggets, little truth bombs, that something that like, oh, I connect with them, bring it up and connect and build relationship. Successful, high quality preschools is the knowledge and the knowing of it is a team effort. It takes parents and our educators as a team effort to really train up our little ones. So connecting on a relationship basis is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is gift bags, little goodie bags, a very well organized tour packet that you can hand them with an intake form that they can fill out, what their needs are. Just make it really simple. It takes them maybe 3 minutes, 2 minutes to fill out. And then you also capture their information. You can keep it in a binder. So when they do tour, you have all their information. It's really easy to pass it on to your teacher. And the third tip is to follow up and generally care. Like, again, don't need to spam them, but just the next day, send a quick email. Thanks so much for coming. Thanks so much for the opportunity that I got to show you around. We really enjoyed meeting you and their child's name. Please let us know if you have any questions, if we can help get you enrolled, and if this isn't the best choice, or maybe even keep that out. But just do a quick thank you and a follow-up. That goes really, really far. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. 3 tips on sealing the deal for your tours. And really, every time you have a tour, you want to engage with them and you really want them to be, you want your potential clients to leave with joy in their heart and excitement. And they have that little warm, fuzzy feeling. You want to be able to give them the warm fuzzies so that they will sign up for your home daycare or preschool. Wishing you guys a beautiful week. Wish it, dream it, do it. This is Miss Amber with the ABCs of Preschool. I'll see you next week.